Hi, welcome to my video. This is Rose showing my version of loom crochet, and in our previous videos we started with your yarn, added it to a loom, and took it off the loom and made ourselves a project. Now my project I'm turning into a small pillow. These are called care pillows, and as I discussed before, where they are given away to the local grief support, so people can use them as they need a comfort. So first of all, on all my videos, we always start with hand and shoulder, neck exercises, so you can warm up into your crafts. So I'm going to start that because I am going to be working on my pillow, and I like to start with a clear mind and the stretch. So I'm just stretching my fingers, making a clenched fist, and stretching them out as far as I possibly can, just to get the muscles used to movement. I'm going to roll my shoulders and take a couple deep breaths. And you're more than welcome to join me in these exercises if it helps you relax, get focused. That's where you craft the best. I'm just going to close my eyes and visualize just for a second what it's going to look like when I get done. So I'm ready if you're ready. Here we go. Now here's my finished piece off the loom that I took off yesterday. As far as this piece is concerned, I have my little tape measure, and it will be it's 9.5 by 6.5. And speaking of tape measure, there is exactly what you need for the lesson for today. That would be your tape measure, a crochet hook. I'm going to be using size H today, handy dandy scissors, and of course yarn. And since it is a pillow, I have a little bit of stuffing here so we can make it softer as we go along. So there you see the piece, and how we discussed in the last video what to do with all these strings. These are the loom strings that kept your craft together. Now, what do we do with them? Since I'm making a pillow, I'm just going to put them inside. That way, they're like a little secret thing, and you don't have to worry about them anymore showing. When you don't have to thread them all through with your tapestry hook needle, and they will just kind of disappear all by themselves. So, ready to get started? Okay, I know I am. Now, the hardest part on this particular pillow, as you'll see, it's going to have two distinct sides, and that's because of the variegated yarn I used. Ended up being self-striping, and it made two different sides, which I think is pretty darn cool. So, let's start with the dark side. Now, since I have two different sides, I had a big decision to make. What do I use for the edge? Because I used my entire little cake of yarn up for this, so I have no more of that yarn. So I was looking at this light lilac color, and I'm like, well, it kind of fits both sides. I thought about black, but then you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing, so that wouldn't work out as well either. So I'm going to work on the dark side so you can hopefully see a little bit better what I'm doing. It has a little more contrast. Doesn't matter which side you decide is your front or back. That one's totally up to you. Now, like I also said before, this side could also be the side you use for the outer side. Then you just tuck your strings on the other side. But I decided to go with this one. So we'll find out what it looks like. Now, first of all, you square it off, and like we discussed before, the great thing about loom crochet is all your sides are even, which is really, really nice. You don't have to worry about uneven edges. What do I do with those? It is all even. Makes it kind of foolproof. Now I'm going to start by lining up these particular corners. I like to start with the corners because this edge will take care of itself with the folded edge. Don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to, like we just started our loom crochet, going to make a tail about the same length as the crochet hook. So you really don't have to think too hard on how long is my tail going to be. And at the point of the length, I'm just going to pick it up, make a little loop, pull the yarn through. So we basically have a nice little circle. Take the crochet hook, put it through the little loop. And as a beginner, it is easier to just lay it on the table or desk or whatever you're using and work from there. So I'm just going to pull it tight a little bit, make another loop. This is the same thing we used to start our loom crochet, and secure it on there. And I don't pull it too awfully tight because you still want your hook to move back and forth. That's the whole idea here. So make the hook work for you. So we're going to find what we feel is the most corner hole. And this is what I determined would be my most corner hole. I'm going to move my yarn over on this side so it's easier to work with. Now, once again, I am right-handed, so if you're left-handed, whatever works for you. So I'm just going to simply pull the hook through, catch the yarn, pull the hook through, and pull it through the loop. And that obviously is easier said than done, so let me show you once again how that works. So going through the two corner holes, pull it up through, and now you have just a little loop. That was actually pretty simple. Now, I'm going to do this 3 times. The reason 3 times is because this is a corner. You need to give it a little extra room because turning a corner so it doesn't curl at the corner. So I have 3 of those. Now, we're going to be doing what's called single crochet. Single crochet and chain are your bases for all crochet. So if you already know them, the stitches, bear with me. If you're new to this, stay tuned. And I am tucking that one little end strand in there. So basically what you do is just put your yarn, your hook through those through the first 2 holes. So you're catching front and back at the same time. So you have to pay attention to where your back row is. So I have caught all the way through, and I'm going to catch this string down here, the yarn. I'm going to pull it through everything. So I should have 2 loops over my hook and yarn over, pull through 2. Remember that loom crochet that we did? To get this point, it's pretty much the same move. So you can we're going to continue on here. Yep. Just continue catching the first row of your top and the first row of your bottom. So you pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2. So catch the first row, usually end up with 2 4 yarns on this. Catch over, now pull through 2. Catch first loop, second loop. So you can see this is the first loop on the top, and I'm catching the second row. It's right below it. So pull through 2. So all we're doing right now is just securing it. We'll add on to this edge here so it's a little more decorative here. So we're going around a total of 2 times. So insert hook, catch yarn, pull through. So you have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Catch inside your full row. And go through first and your back side and front side and pull through. So you have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And every now and then check and make sure you're staying even, that you're going to end up with a nice smooth edge. So I'm going through the top to the bottom, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Through the top to the bottom. So yarn over, pull through 2. Top to bottom, catch your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2. Top to bottom. I'm just doing this very first row, so it's not like I'm going way up in here or anything else. Just staying kind of on the edge, so I'm securing it. So yarn top to bottom, yarn over, pull through 2. And 2, catch your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Top to bottom, catch yarn, yarn over, pull through 2. Top to bottom, catch yarn, pull through 2. And we're almost to the corner here. So catch, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you remember on the very first one we did 3, so our corner wouldn't roll on us. So basically it's going top to bottom, yarn over, pull through 2, and in the very same hole, go down, catch top to bottom, yarn over, pull through 2. Top to bottom, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you can do 3 to 4 stitches. I just happen to do 3 so we can make the turn the corner. Now just continue on what we just discussed, only your sides are going to be a little bit different because they are more solid than your ends. So it's really not different how you do it. Top to bottom, catch yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So if you can see this better this way, you do it on the side here. So I'm just picking any place you can do between the rows, in your loops, just so you're staying even. It's not an exact science, which is kind of good too. Can't mess up. So I put through the top, I put through the bottom. Now you see my hook. So I'm just catching it, pulling it through, yarn over, pull through 2. Oop. Let's try that one more time. So top to bottom, I am using an H hook because it kind of fits between the weaves the best. Yarn over, pull through 2. But whatever works for you, that's great. It's your project, so it's going to look like the way you want it to look. Thing about crochet and most arts and crafts, it's whatever in your imagination and works best for you. So here I have yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm kind of doing between the weave rows, yarn over, pull through 2. And sometimes you just have to work it down just a little bit because this is more solid than your ends were. And that's the way you wanted it, is more solid. So going through top to bottom, catch my yarn, yarn over through 2. Working between the weaves. And I obviously got it tight enough because it's got to wiggle my hook a little bit to get through there. Yarn over through 2. and catch these, yarn over through 2, through weaves, make sure you get all the way to the bottom, catch it, yarn over through 2. See, now we're starting to take on an edge look. It's coming together, so that's kind of nice. Now you'll notice the back looks a little different than the front, but that's quite okay, because that's the way crochet is. One side looks a little different than the other, so doesn't make it bad, just makes it gives it a little different design. Now we're going through back, front to back, yarn over, catch it, yarn over, through 2, catch yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and catch yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, and get to another corner here. So I'm going to find a corner area so I can make a corner. So back to front to back, catch yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, and front to back, catch yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, and front to back one more time for my 3, through 2. Now, as you can see, we have 2 out of our 4 sides done. So we're going to get through. Now you'll find this one's easier because of the fold. So you just have to, since you're not really attaching anything, you're not putting front to back, it's on a fold already. Just pick a loop. I'm just going to pick this loop. My camera angle so you can possibly see where I'm at. You'll see just a loop there. Just go through that loop. So this one will go quite fast. So come under, catch, pull through 2, in your loop, catch, pull through 2, in your loop, catch the loop, pull through 2, in your fold loop, catch, pull through 2. This is, you don't have to work anything because it already exists. It's giving you a nice even crochet row to work with, which is right along here. Just stay on doing that same row and it will not get uneven for you. Work on your fold row, in the loop, pull through 2, catch, pull through 2, pull through, catch, pull through 2. And we're going to get to that corner here pretty soon, and we'll have a totally even row because we just followed the fold line. 2, get my yarn here where I need it to be, and catch through 2, and stay on the fold line here all the way to the end. Now we're at our corner again, and here's my fold line. It's in the orange, so I hope that you can be able to see it. And the last one is right at the corner. So stay on your fold line. Only difference is we're going to find a corner hole because now we have to go back to front kind of again. So put through your corner holes, back to front, front to back, however you want to think about that. And we're going to do our 3 again. Catch yarn, pull through 2. Now we have the 3 of our 4. Now the 4th one, since this is a pillow, I want to do something with the middle, of course. So I have a little bit of polyester stuffing. Now, the thing about polyester, about stuffing pillows, you can use a lot of different things. You can buy polyester stuffing like this, and you can buy new pillows, the cheaper kind that you normally wouldn't want to sleep on because they're too flat, whatever. Cut them open and use the stuffing out of those. They're usually pretty economical. Like a lot of your retail stores sell those $3-4 pillows. Use that. Now the determination is how fat do I want this pillow. I want to make sure I get it down in the corners. So I'm just taking my fingers and pushing down in the corners so they get some stuffing. And I pull that stuffing out because I really don't want it too thick. I just want it to have a little cushy to it. So I could add more stuffing, would make it fatter, but that also makes it harder. And this is supposed to be like a soft, cuddly thing, so I don't want to put too much in it, but you can see it still has some bulk. So it's going to be a nice little pillow, I think. So that leaves it soft, but still has some give. Now, make sure all our magical ends from that looming are all tucked inside so nobody can see them. And I do have to warn you that I do live close to a train track, so occasionally a train comes through. So if you hear trains in the background, that's just the train crew doing their thing. All right. So we're going to continue on. Front to back, yarn over, go through 2. And I think I hear a train coming, so I'll just have you watch me for a bit. Through this. Okay. And there we go. Front to back, catch, yarn over, through 2. Front to back, just the edge, using the edge holes. Yarn over the back. Go front to back, catch yarn, pull through, yarn over through 2. And front to back, catch yarn over through 2. Front to back, and so on. Now this one I didn't get deep enough because I can see more of the green in here than I wanted to, so I take it down to another level of just another hole that's a little bit deeper from the edge. So if that happens to you, just bring it down a little bit so you don't have another color showing through on you. Okay, we're getting 3/4 through our project here on the putting it together portion. It's doing the same thing, so I'm just going to move over to another hole. Because since I'm using 2 different sides with 2 totally different colors, I don't want the other one showing through on the top necessarily. So catch yarn over through 2, top to bottom. Make sure you're catching both top and bottom. Right, you'll have a hole and you'll have to pull it out, which is the magical thing. In crochet, you just pull it right back out to where you need to be and start again. Yarn over, pull through 2. We're getting to our edge. It's exciting. And this one's a little tougher, just like the other end sides would be, because you have your tighter weave along the edges than you do on your ends. So got 2 that take a little time, 2 sides take a little time, 2 sides that are pretty fast. So that's all good. Now here we go. We're at where we started. Now I already did my 3 stitches for the corner, so I'm just going to slip stitch, which means I just pull straight through. Now I could call it finished right there because it is secured. As you can tell, if you've crocheted before or done any other crafts, and you don't have to line this. That stuffing is not going to show through, and it's not going to come out. So that's what makes this totally faster than easier than regular crochet. A lot of times you have to do a lining so your stuffing doesn't show through. So what I am going to do, because I want it to be just a little wider border, when you get to the corner, you take one of your holes and do it 3 times again. 1. Now this is a single crochet. Single crochet is just as easy as your other ones. It's not going to be, you'll find it easy to pick up. So just put your hook through, catch yarn over 2. And there's all kinds of borders out there that you can find on different places on the internet. So if you want something a little fancier than this, you're more than welcome to use it. I'm going to just go under the loop, the big connecting loop, so I don't have to really find any holes or anything else. So I'm just going to single crochet all the way around. And that gives it one little piece more of security, especially if it's used a lot, and gives it a little wider decorative border. So how you hold your hook, totally up to you. You can hold it like this, which is what I'm doing now. If your hands get tired the other way, you can hold it as a pencil style. And that's all, depends on what your hands want to do. Mine with thicker things, get tired on the pencil style, so I changed to the total hand grip thing. Just remember that you let the hook work, and you relax. Loose, 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 loose. And if you find you're too loose, well, you take it out that few steps, and then my yarn split on me here for a second. And it's 4-ply, so if you end up just getting 2-ply, get 2 of the strings instead of the 4, then just go back and straighten out your yarn a little bit, back and forth. I think I hear a train. Well, I'm going to quit talking for a minute and let you enjoy the train noise. Think about living next to the train. Some days there's hardly any trains, and other days they're like nonstop. So I guess I'm on a nonstop day. So I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, made a little wider border here. So it's a little more decorative. Like I said, there's all kinds of borders you can find on different places on the internet, videos, etc., on how to make them. Whichever border you wish to use is your personal preference, and whatever makes your piece look the way you want it to look. So just going around every single loop all the way around. And we'll have a finished piece when I get all back around. I hope all my videos have been of some help to you. I do have a blog that I have. It's called loomcrochet.com. And with that particular blog, you can learn how to do more projects, learn how to increase your skills, and I have some other fun little crafts on there that they're all yarn or fabric based. Won't be anything like what the fiber arts, which I hope you enjoyed my video here. And I got to get around this corner here. So this is just single crochet all the way around. I have 2 more sides to go. But on the blog, we'll have these particular video series, the beginner series, and then we'll also have how you can incorporate new crochet stitches into it, how to change colors along the way within your weaving to create unique patterns, because with changing out the colors of your yarns in the middle of your weave, you could even, if you would like to do things that have words on them or names, or make a piece that says something that you want everybody to love as much as you do, you can put words on it. You can put designs on it. It's as flexible as weaving and with patterns, and it's as flexible as crochet with ease. So, and like I said, the best thing I like about this, you always have even sides, and you always can take it out to the point where you want to maybe say you missed something or you made a small error. You can take it out and not have to start all over again, which is, I have always admitted to not being mistake proof. So it does happen to everyone, I'm sure, at some point in time, going, that just doesn't look right. And it also creates a level of creativity that you may not even know that you have. Yeah. Now I do have a kind of I like free form. I do patterns, and then a lot of times I change them up, but that's just me. And other people just like patterns. That's not a problem. We'll have some patterns as well, because patterns do teach you different stitches. They teach you different styles. Nothing wrong with patterns. I have taught people to crochet, and they go, well, I made a mistake. I haven't followed the pattern. I can't follow this pattern. And I'm like, so what's your mistake? So they'll show me what they did. And I said, well, you know what? If you make that same mistake for the next 10 rows, you'll have your own little pattern, which I think will look pretty cool. And so the joke is around here that if you make enough mistakes, it becomes a pattern. And just have to repeat your mistake. So it's not all bad. That's where creativity begins, I think. So anyway, they mess with me and go, hey, Mom, I made a pattern today. And I said, how'd you do that? And I said, I made a mistake, and I kept going with it. I said, there you go. So it does work. Oh, look at this. We're almost to the corner. So how am I going to end this? So what I have here is the corner. And here I have my last stitch. So I am just simply going to pull in, pull through. And remember, I left that tail before, about the length of my crochet hook, which is a good measurement. So I'm just going to cut it off right there. And I'm going to take this and pull through. Pull it tight because I want it to stay. And I'm going to go through that hole again, pull it up and pull it tight. Now, once again, I have a tail. So what am I going to do with that tail? So we just simply, to me, the easiest way, you can use a tapestry needle, whatever works for you. I'm just going to have it join all those other strings that were buried in the pillow that nobody knows about but us. So I'm just going to put my crochet hook between a couple weaves, slide it up, slide it up, slide it up, slide it up, catch my tail. And I got part of the loop, but I want the loop, I just want the tail. Catch the tail and bring it inside. You have to just move it around a little bit. Now, well, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So, I left too much showing. So that's an example on how not to do it. Okay, so I just brought it down to where the weave begins. I just pulled it through these two loops, brought it down to where the weave begins, and then I take it through to, I wanted to show, so you can do this with the tapestry needle as well. I just pull it through, so now it looks like it's going down into the piece, but as you can see, it's coming out here. I'm just going to do it one more time, so I find any part of the weave that I want to, and push my crochet hook and pull it through there and stretch it out so it's not, so now it is actually not an edge string anymore. It is a disappearing string. So once you cut it off close to the weave, stretch it out, work it in a little bit, and it is gone. You can't see where you actually start and where you end, which is the way you wanted it to be. So I hope you guys enjoy my little pillow, and the two-sided effect is really nice. And if you decide to go on loomcrochet.com, it is a private blog, and it does have a fee to it. It is $29.95 for lifetime use. Once you sign up, you just go ahead and send me your email, and I can, and it will have payment information. You can go ahead and just sign up. You have lifetime use of it, so as things are added in, you're allowed to ask questions, and who knows, I might even have a Zoom meeting or something in